I have not made any content for weeks. Well, that's not true. That's not strictly true. I have made a few Patreon videos and posted them in the Patreon community. But aside from that, I haven't really... Well, I have been filming things. I've just taken my time with the whole process. The new year, a new start. This is a clean page. What worked last year, what didn't? What should be kept? What can we let go? I take the time to contemplate these things. This is the time to celebrate the accomplishments of previous eras. In 2024, I settled into my home. I consolidated my financial matters, my work. Now I really just want to focus on bringing more love into my life. Now I take full advantage of my location. Living on the coast, this summer feels mild so far, and yet I find myself in my January valley. In past seasons, my January lethargy may have alarmed me, but this year I feel at peace with my slow pace. I feel like my cat stretched across something soft. For weeks I have worried about nothing. Work can wait. Overthinking, analysing, producing. I think everything is going to be okay. I love you. I love you. Ooh. Friend, I have a white tea. I believe it's called Silver Tips. I had a haircut right at the end of last year. I cut off about this much. So we really are starting fresh. Things have already changed since I posted my wardrobe tour video at the end of 2024. If you haven't already seen that video, please do watch it. I did make it especially for you. It took days and days of filming and editing to get that video together. And look, it was a big endeavor for sure. But I have to say I am happy to have started the process of documenting my wardrobe again. And as time consuming as that was, I'm happy to have that starting point to find, oh my God, Gary is so cute right now. Stop. But the reason it was so time consuming is because my wardrobe is pretty big right now. It's about as big as it's been for years and years and years. Maybe not that many years. And I wasn't planning to, but I got sucked into the sale season somewhat completely by accident. I was just out getting festive supplies and I ended up picking up a few things after I filmed and posted that wardrobe tour video. I mean, I try not to do sale shopping often for this kind of a reason, but I did. I picked up a couple of festive appropriate dresses and this blue set. Woo! If you want to know more about these items, I recently posted a whole video about them to my Patreon community. I post a new video to the Patreon community every Friday. Now in general, I am planning a low buy year for 2025. So I have gone back to my one in, one out policy. I can't remember the exact tally of my wardrobe from the wardrobe tour video. Did we decide it was around 100 items overall? As much as I'm okay with that number, I definitely don't want it to get bigger than that. I'm kind of at my maximum limit, and if anything, I would like it to get a bit smaller again. So as much as I added 4 items to my wardrobe over the festive season, I have also ended up decluttering 4 items. I decluttered 2 crop tops that I'd had for a little while that honestly I haven't really worn much because I just don't find them to be particularly flattering. So these pieces have been pretty dormant over the last couple summers, I would say. Also, if you watch that video, you'll know that I have many boob tubes. I had some that are not very comfortable. They're extremely difficult to put on, and because of that, every time I do put them on, I end up getting deodorant marks on them, or whatever, body lotion marks on them because they're just so difficult to get on. So I decided, you know what, as much as black and white boob tubes are super handy in my wardrobe, I think I can make do with the other brands boob tubes that I prefer, and these I can probably afford to let go of. I think it's safe to say that tops are the largest category in my wardrobe these days. So if I am going to be doing some of this one in, one out policy in 2025, I'm presuming that quite a lot of what's going to be coming out will be from the top section of my wardrobe. Because as much as I do have so many boob tubes in particular, I still find I'm gravitating towards, the same few tops. I probably don't need quite as many as I have. And now a word from today's video sponsor, Squarespace, my favorite all-inclusive platform for building a web space of your own. Squarespace is an excellent tool to use to empower your growth and your evolution in whatever direction you choose. Whether it be a creative project, a new career path, you can use Squarespace to engage with your audience, showcase your content, and sell just about anything. You can do this all on your own terms by choosing one of their many beautiful templates, which can easily be customized to express your unique vision of yourself and your world. And no, you do not need to know any programming languages to make this happen. The Squarespace interface is extremely easy to use and it's very, very logical. Squarespace has some really exciting new features such as design intelligence, combining 2 decades of leading design expertise with AI technology to help you unlock your creative potential. Design intelligence is there to empower you to build a more personalized website tailored to you and your audience's specific needs. Squarespace can also help you build a course. Believe me, if I ever write a course again, I will be hosting it with Squarespace this time around. Squarespace have a wonderful offer for viewers of this channel. If you would like to take advantage of 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website, please go to www.squarespace.com, start your free trial. When you're ready to launch, use this here link. A massive thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Hey, I really love these pants. They have a split in them. And while I think they look cool and I like the split with this outfit for sure, this is the one outfit where I really love having the split because I just think the split works with the vibe of the top. So while I love having the split in these pants for this particular outfit, you know, I wear this outfit like 3 times in summer and that's that. And I just find that these pants, while I love them and I think they're cool and they're awesome in summer, they would just be so much more useful to me in my wardrobe if they didn't have these gosh darn splits. And they're a really good fit. They're black obviously, so they're easy to, you know, throw in to the mix. I'm gonna alter them to get rid of the split and maybe make them a little more narrow because I have a feeling that without the split they're gonna maybe look too baggy. I don't know, but either way we're gonna. So a couple months ago my parents brought over my old sewing machine, a machine that I bought in the early 2000s, and it sews backwards, which I'm sure is something I can get fixed and looked at, but for now I've just been hacking sewing backwards. We're not going to talk about that here. At first I was reluctant because I thought, oh, do I really want that sewing machine in my life? You know, I like to keep things simple, minimal. I don't want to be storing equipment. But then I realized I've got so many items in my wardrobe that would just be so much more usable if they were slightly different, like if they were slightly taken in, or yeah, like if I got rid of split or something like that. And this year I'm actually planning to have a little bit of a low buy year. I'm planning to keep the shopping to a minimum for at least the first 6 months of the year. I really like my wardrobe, I do. Most of the things in my wardrobe are great. There are just some things that I think I could make more usable, especially since I'm not planning to get much more stuff for the foreseeable future. Like, it would be just nice to be able to make something's slightly more usable. So I've already altered a couple of dresses, like a dress that had a really high collar and it just didn't look right. Ever since I've made it into a V-neck, I've actually been wearing it repeatedly. I also had an orange dress that I bought like a couple years ago that I just never ever wore, and I've lost weight since then, so I kind of needed to take it in. And I was actually quite impressed with myself because back in the early 2000s when I was just a little baby, I sort of had a lot of frustration associated with sewing. Like I could sew, I could make things, but I just hated the process. I hate the process of sewing, and I kind of took shortcuts. I just had a lot of impatience to do with sewing, and I didn't do a really good job of sewing because I just wanted to get it done quickly. And you know, the pieces that I created weren't exactly artworks, let's just say that. And now I've come into my era of softness and patience. So I was really impressed with how well I altered the bust line of this orange dress. Like it actually fits me in the bust really well. And do you know what the secret ingredient was? It was to iron as I was going, iron the seams out. And that's just the kind of thing I never would have thought of 20 years ago. I didn't have the patience for that sort of thing, for ironing things. I don't think I've ever owned an iron in my life. I mean, I just have a steamer that has an ironing function. But this time around I was like, no, I can take all day doing this. So I just took my time with it and actually did a really good job on the alteration. So now I am the alterations queen. I'm kind of, I wouldn't say excited exactly about the process of sewing, but I'm definitely a lot more excited about it than I used to be. And well, I'm excited about the potential for my wardrobe. This means that, yeah, I can prolong the life of certain things, or if something's not getting enough use, I can make it more usable, which makes me happy. And before I get distracted, I have to tell you, I have created something. It's a new offering for you, designed to help you make the best out of 2025. Live Your Dream Life in 2025 is a 3-part video with a total length of 1 hour and 9 minutes, focused on opening up your energetic space so that you can create beautiful things in 2025. I will pop the link in the description box and probably in the comments. It is for sale on my Patreon page. You don't have to be a member to buy it. I've put a lot of work and wisdom into it in a way that I hope can help you take your own life and mwah, in 2025. So this video actually ended up being filmed very slowly over a couple of weeks. A few things happened along the way, an unexpected change in weather. Usually, the weather in January is very hot and dry, But in mid-January, we got 1 day of rain. I always get so excited when we have a rainy day. Such days are especially pleasing during summer. The director David Lynch passed away. I've realized that David Lynch is probably the artist who has inspired me the most in my lifetime. I was quite young and impressionable when I first watched his television series Twin Peaks, and I was really inspired by the way that the series was put together. I was fascinated by the characters, the plot, the music, everything within the image, from the landscapes, the decor, the costumes. It was the first time in my life that I'd looked at something on television and seen it as an artwork. And I cannot tell you how that moment impacted my way of seeing the world, the aesthetic inspiration that I got from it. And while there have been many artists I have loved over the years, musicians, painters, designers, other filmmakers, deep down inside I know that Lynch was the most inspiring to me, simply because he was able to create this world that was so unique and different to anything else I'd ever seen. It was hilarious, dark, mysterious and scary and beautiful to look at. Of course, Lynch was of an age, but I feel he is definitely one of the most impactful artists to have graced this earth. So I am not in any kind of an ambitious or aspirational era of my life. I mean, part of it's that it's January and it's, it's summer here. My energy levels are low anyway. But I mean, it's not just that. All I'm really excited about at the moment is cooking, baking, and hanging out with people I care about. Over the festive season, I learnt to make some things I'd never made before. I made a couple of Basque cheesecakes. I learnt to make pavlova, an Australian institution. What else? Oh, I made these awesome cheddar and thyme biscuits. I learnt to make Polish dumplings. Ruskie pierogi. That's right, potato and cheese inside, my favorite. And I found a recipe on the SBS website. It wasn't very good. I don't know why, but this has happened before. I attempted making Polish dumplings many years ago, and the recipe I found on that occasion was also faulty. Like, they always get the dough wrong. I needed the recipe as a base to kind of orient myself in the general way of making it, the general ingredients. But ultimately, I reached deep into my genetic history and ended up kind of using a bit of my instinct to completely alter the recipe. The first batch I made, they were okay. They were amazing. They tasted like they're supposed to, except that I was kind of busy while I was cooking a lot of stuff on the day when I made them, so I overcooked the potatoes slightly, so they were a little too mushy on the inside. Well, there was a lot of drama with the dough, because it did fine while I was working on it and while I was putting the dumplings together, but as soon as they sort of sat out for a little while, the dough got really soft and squishy and basically stuck to everything. I had a bit of an amateur disaster start. I just made them all up, and there were lots of them, and I put them in the fridge. I sort of stacked them on top of each other in like layers of baking paper. That was just a bad idea. Not only did they crush each other, but yeah, the dough stuck to the paper. So now I'm a little bit wiser, and I know that basically as I'm making them today, I have to cook them as I'm going, and the ones that don't get cooked they need to be frozen immediately. Otherwise they're just going to become a mess. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. I'm hoping that my second attempt of ruski pierogi will be better. And I've got some carb-hungry friends coming over later. I had a light breakfast and lunch because I know that tonight's just a butter party, really. Are you even Polish if you're not peeling potatoes at least once a week? So I know the recipe that I found online calls for me to bake these, well, to cook these potatoes in their skin, but that seems like a messy way of doing it. I don't want to mess around with a cooked potato in its skin. It's also going to take longer to cook, so I'm just doing it the boring way. I'm just peeling them and cutting them up and... Yes, queen!
Questi bei panacchini, quel cappello leggero galante, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color, quel vermiglio d'onesco color. Non più avrai quei panacchini, quel cappello, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante.
Oh my god. Yes. Oh, so good. The new year, a new start. My wish for you is that you be soft in 2025. You are here to create, full of potential. Know your power, wield your energy. For within you is the source of all beginnings.